Hello and welcome back to Democratic Italy, and with me, Deleted Kingdoms for Explorminate, and we're playing some Hearts of Iron 4. And you'll remember in the last episode we're continuing with this offensive. It's not going particularly well, but it's not going too bad. But it is allowing the allies to advance here from the western front. We need to select some more research. We've just researched some improved oil plants, and we may need to start building those soon. It's not quite yet 1941. So there's not really much we can improve on our industry. We're doing the best we can with it. We should probably get radio, shouldn't we, to help with our reinforcement rate. Now that we have a front which is being sapped, it would be good if we could get radios to increase the rate in which that's being reinforced. Our current casualties for this war are up to 33,000 dead Italian troops, or dead and wounded Italian troops. The Germans have kind of like plateaued out around 2.5 million. I don't know if that's a good sign or not. Probably not. We're not too far from Berlin as far as the Allies go. Magdeburg here looks like it's about to fall. Leipzig is under threat. Most of the German industrial areas in the Rhineland have been, well, certainly under threat, or if not already been taken. So let's let the game tick over. What I want to do now is start converting some of my industry over to convert some of these civilian factories, convert them over to military factories. So let's start doing that. I'm not sure if this is the easiest way to do it, I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, a lot of civilians here are now going to have to just get used to austerity measures, give up some of their consumer luxuries, and just accept the fact that industry in Italy is going to be producing bombs and bullets and tanks for the foreseeable future, and that they're just going to have to toughen up a bit for a few years. All these juicy factories we're now converting over. So our military production, once all these are converted, I'm not sure how long this is going to take. Once all these are converted over to military factories, we're going to be able to produce tanks and aircraft at a rapid rate of knots. We've got a couple of civilian factories here. I guess we should leave some factories civilian, because people will still need consumer goods, I guess. Let's look at changing our government here. So limited conscription. We've still got around 600,000 in the manpower pool. Mobilisation, here we go. We need political power to do this. But to flip, I guess, to total mobilisation, which is what we want. Just going to military factory construction speed. Yeah, see, this improves our conversion cost. At the minute, we're on partial mobilisation. So, total mobilisation, is that the next stage, or is it war economy? No, war economy is the next stage. But we could go straight to total mobilisation, surely. Once we get enough political power, and we're producing, what, 1 per day? Yeah. Once we get enough political power, we'll flip over to total mobilisation. More naval battles happening here in the Adriatic. Now, our intelligence said that the Yugoslavs only have 6 ships left, roughly. There's at least 6 here. Perhaps this is the last stand of the Yugoslavian Navy. They've got a few Japanese planes helping them out. Are we producing any units? We are producing infantry divisions. Not sure how quickly they're being produced, and where are they mustering? In Latium, down here. We should probably muster them closer to the front. Not too close. Here, Veneto. We'll go there. We've got a report coming in from the Navy. Oh, good. Good. This is good. This should sort out the Yugoslavian naval problem. We've just had a patrol report back from our Central Mediterranean Fleet, who report that they have sunk 1 Yugoslavian destroyer, a Yugoslavian light cruiser, and 3 Yugoslavian submarines, for the loss of 4 destroyers from the Australian Navy, of all things, who are operating in the Adriatic and helping us out. World tension is at 83%. Slovakia joined the offensive in the Japanese-Chinese War. So Slovakia here are fascist. Are they part of the Axis? They are. Kampfgruppe. So let's remind ourselves what that was, because we started researching that quite some time ago. So it improves planning speed, basically. What next? What do we have here next? So we've come to a mutually exclusive juncture on our research tree for mobile warfare. I'm not even sure if our divisions are properly equipped for mobile warfare. We'll have a look at those in a minute. Volkssturm, so that increases recruitable population. Fire brigades, all infantry and motorised and mechanised organisations increased by 10, and tanks get +2 organisation. It's working its way towards modern blitzkrieg. Sounds good. Oh, we're so close to Munich now. Look, we've pushed forward. I don't like to get too involved in here. I'm going to leave this offensive up to Hugo Cavallero. Oh, look, the Dutch are storming ahead. They're storming ahead. There's a fortified line here near Plzeň. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Perhaps if some German people are watching, they could correct me. Now, I'm half tempted to allow our divisions here to push against the Yugoslavian troops. Or I could just let these Yugoslav troops crush themselves against the anvil. Our very limited and ill-equipped air force is operating entirely in northern Italy, apart from some naval bombers operating in, obviously, the Med. Ace pilot promoted. Few take as many risks as the brave pilots of the Italian Air Force. Armedio Ceccherini, a skilled pilot known under the call sign Viper, nice, has distinguished himself in not only returning alive but piloting his Fiat CR32 with immense skill. So his rubbish little biplane. He was on a mission over Western Germany and was instrumental to the success of its critical encounter. Held up as a shining example of Italian courage, his recent promotion has been highly publicised. So I'm not really 100% sure how ACEs work, but let's have a look. If we look at our Air Force overview, is it there? ACEs, I don't know where they are. Here he is. Armedio Viper. He's part of this unit here. Can we get information about him? Here he is. So it improves air attack, max airspeed. Assigned to the 63rd Fighter Wing in Veneto. It would be good if it had like a little, so you could follow how many kills he was getting. That would be good. I don't know if you can. Maybe you can. I'm not sure. Do I launch the offensive on the Yugoslavian front? Slow things down. We need to make decisions here. Looks like the Yugoslavs at least have been pushed away from their German friends here. Nationalist Spain. There's some nationalist Spanish troops fighting in Yugoslavia. Damn it, Franco. We were good friends. They do have a positive opinion of us. And yet he's sending troops to Yugoslavia to attack Italian troops. Well, I'll tell you what, if the French are having a few dramas here, but the Dutch and the Belgians, reinforced by British divisions, are having a good time. They're pushing down towards this river here. If they can link these two fronts up, that will free up a lot of Italian troops. And ideally, if we could do like a pincer movement from here, and the Italian troops push up and come around the back of Munich, and the French and Dutch troops push from the north here. If we could cut this entire area off, that would be a massive pocket there. There's hundreds of thousands of German troops there. 420 German aircraft operating out of this airfield. We could cut them off as well. I mean, I suppose they could escape, but we could cut off a lot of German divisions here. We could do a spearhead attack, but there's two river crossings really, and Munich is going to be a tough cookie to crack. I think we'll wait and see what happens. If we can get these two fronts a little bit closer, then we might put a spearhead attack through to try and cut the Germans off. That would probably be a decisive moment in World War II. Cutting off the, I don't know what you'd call this, the Munich pocket. That would be pretty good. It'll be interesting to see if Germany declared war on the Soviet Union. It would not be a good idea for them to do that, as it wasn't in real life, and they suffered for that. I think 75% of German troops, or German fighting capability in real life, was destroyed on the Eastern Front by the Soviet Union. 75% of the German fighting power. So we have a lot to thank the Soviets for winning World War II. Of course, the Soviets suffered the most casualties as well, probably something in the region, including civilian casualties. I think it's somewhere in the region of 45 million people. Ridiculous. So we've got improved artillery. How long does it take? Are these factories converted? No, they're still converting. I wonder if it's going to tell me when they finish. Insufficient resources. We still need some more oil and chromium. It's only a little bit though. We've done some research here. Let's select something else. Given that our air force is so rubbish, perhaps we should invest in some anti-aircraft guns. Because at the minute we don't have any anti-aircraft guns. And with these new military factories coming in, we will be able to start producing anti-aircraft guns, and we can add anti-aircraft units to our infantry divisions, and they'll gradually be supplied with anti-aircraft guns here. So we've got another ace promoted. What's this guy called? David Pianelli. And he's flying one of the Breda BA-65, so he's a ground attack pilot. And of course, there's only one front here, so he must be stationed. He must be operating out of Veneto. Yeah, there he is. The Falcon. Let's hope he doesn't get killed. Okay, encryption has finished. Again, nothing really else in this screen that I want to look at. Industry, not so much. Still not 1941 yet. Our air force is pretty defunct. How long is it before our aircraft carrier is complete? Looking at the wrong one here. So 3 weeks until our aircraft carrier is complete, and we need to think of a decent name for that aircraft carrier. These fronts are getting closer and closer. There's a pocket here. If these French troops can push through and cut this off, then there's a lot of German divisions trapped there. Using Switzerland's neutrality, we could actually force a lot of German troops to surrender or be cut off. This is good. This is good. We are winning World War II. And that's the objective of this game, isn't it? For your side, whether it be the Allies or the Axis, to win World War II. That's your objective here, isn't it? Anyway, we didn't select any research, so let's select some research. Let's pause the game, otherwise we're wasting precious hours of research. Okay, so we're working on some new guns. It's still not 1941 yet, but we do have a 50% discount on these P26 tanks. And these are a lot. I mean, their piercing damage is 111. P75s, it's only 35, so that's really good. If we can make a tank destroyer variant of this, that will help against the German Panzer divisions without a shadow of a doubt. And we have got a bit of a discount on it because we've selected, I think it was, yeah, the tank Fiat tank designer, so it gives us armour research time is reduced by 10%. I'm not sure where that 50% reduction comes from, but I'm grateful for it. Look at this. Look at this. Let's slow things down and bask in the glory that is this. That is these German troops. We've got 3. Let's just pause it here for a second. 2, 4, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 German divisions are cut off in this sliver of land here, up against the river, up against the Swiss or the Switzerland's border here. This is significant, and again, I think we can pinch off another salient here. If we can just hold this line, I think the Allies or the French, Belgians are going to push through and cut off another, potentially, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 German divisions. Dresden has fallen. Stettin is under threat. This is majorly Berlin. Berlin has fallen. This is incredible. It's under control of the Dutch. Oh dear, Hitler. Oh dear. Now, this area here, this part of Denmark here is still occupied by the Third Reich. But they're cut off there. As I mentioned in the last episode, it's interesting to see. In real life, Italy was seen as a bit of a burden for Germany when it invaded Greece and just caused trouble, and they had to be bailed out a few times. But it just goes to show when Italy flipped sides early on that Germany really suffer for it. I think look at all this green here. Our battles are going well. Nothing over here in the Med or in North Africa is under threat. The Japanese appear to have come to somewhat of a standstill over here in China. Now, what did we say we were going to spend this on? We were going to change our mobilisation up to total mobilisation, weren't we? Let's do that. So total mobilisation, if we remind ourselves, is going to give us improved construction speed for military factories, civilian to military factory conversion cost is reduced, and the military and vice versa. I'm guessing that means it takes less time. Okay, we have low manpower. Oh, wow, actually our manpower is completely dilapidated. This is a serious problem. Perhaps I should have noticed that before I went to total mobilisation. We need to change our conscription laws, and it's going to take at least 3 months before we can do that, around 3 months before we can do that, because we need to change limited conscription to I guess extensive conscription. It will increase training time because obviously we're getting a lot of people who aren't really suited to the military, and they're going to take longer to train. Service by requirement will take 300 political power. Recruitable population will be 10%. Extensive conscription is 5%. At the minute we're on limited, where it's only 2.5%. All adults served 20%. Scraping the barrel 25%. We need to get it up to extensive conscription as soon as possible. Up to 10%. We could have made a pretty bad mistake here, because basically every man who gets injured or killed on the Tyrol line now by the Germans is not going to be replaced. That is pretty significant. The enemy has air superiority over Italy and the Western Balkans. There's not really much I can do about that until we start getting these spare military factories come in as they get converted over. Now, can we advance here and try and cut off some German divisions? It looks like we're trying to anyway, but it's not working. But look at this, 15, 16, 17 German divisions cut off in this pocket here near Württemberg. Good stuff. And we're about to cut off some more German divisions here, hopefully. Let's keep an eye on our resources. We're down on steel, chromium and oil now. God, I hope this manpower situation doesn't cause a collapse of the Tyrol line. That would be embarrassing. Desperately need to change our conscription laws. Okay, now we could. The Germans are advancing here, or trying to. We could probably cut off at least 7 or 8 German divisions in that small pocket here as well. Switzerland, you are having your uses. They're like acting as a buffer state, basically. Look at all these French troops are pulling through. They're coming through all the Italian towns. They're swinging back round. Now that they've destroyed this pocket, divisions, hundreds of thousands of French tanks and infantry divisions. That looks like a British tank there. Maybe it's being built on licence. Or maybe even a Russian tank. They're coming round. They're reinforcing the Tyrol line at the critical moment when we're running out of manpower. We're being reinforced by French troops. This is good. all these. I've never been so happy to see French troops come in. Oh, manpower is indeed low. We need to wait till this political power gets to 150%, and then we can increase our change our conscription laws, and then we'll have plenty of manpower. Okay, Hungary has joined the Axis. Let's see. This is going to be pretty significant. Hungary would undoubtedly throw a lot of divisions onto the Tyrol front. Berlin has fallen though. The Germans are definitely on the run. Let's speed things up here. We've definitely got the speed and momentum. Looks like the Germans have withdrawn from this pocket. They've managed to get out before being cut off, which is a bit disappointing. It means they can fall back, reorganise, and then rejoin the fight. Let's have a look at casualties then. Our casualties are now 82,000. The Germans have suffered nearly another 1 million casualties since we last checked. You know what, I'm going to take full credit for winning World War II, if that indeed is what happens. Because it was opening up this Tyrol front and the German flank which did it. Let's see how the air war in over the Alpine or over Western Germany is going. "260 friendly bombers, 179. Yep, the German Air Force over Western Germany now has been decimated. We actually have air superiority over Western Germany. It's just the Western Balkans now that we don't. Okay, so Trotsky survives an assassination attempt. This is Soviet politics. Enemy has air superiority over the Western Balkans, over Yugoslavia basically. I'm not really bothered because we're not on the offensive in Yugoslavia anyway. These Italian troops here are sitting out the war, facing off against Yugoslavian border guards. I don't think it's worth risking an offensive into Yugoslavia. We need to wait for the right moment. Holding this line is proving useful. Okay, so world tensions increased by 4%. Soviet Union has sent 2 volunteer divisions to Yugoslavia. Okay, so but they're only volunteer divisions. The Soviet Union hasn't got involved in the war, but that could mix things up. Imagine if the Soviet Union joins Germany. That could make things difficult for us. Come on, let's trap these German divisions. These troops here aren't organised enough to make an offensive. There's 9 German infantry divisions here, so we just need to hold out for as long as possible. Do we have any new infantry divisions? No, we don't. Of course we don't, because we're completely short of manpower. And we're nowhere near having enough political power to enforce higher levels of conscription, not yet. Our only saving grace is that these French troops came round to reinforce the Tyrol line here, but where have they all gone? I can't see them anymore. But we're doing well. We've linked up. We have actually linked up here with these French troops near Munich. Munich is still in German hands, but only just. We've cut off 11 German infantry divisions in this pocket here. Glorious. So I'm guessing if Berlin fell, where would the German High Command retreat to? Okay, so we've got our radio. Let's. Hitler might go back to his hometown of Munich, but I wouldn't. It's probably a bit dangerous at the minute. Radio detection enables radar stations. Again, if the German Air Force have pretty much been destroyed in Western Germany, then I don't think there's any need to invest in radar stations. Is there anything here that which will improve conversion costs? We're still not in 1941. We're producing British infantry equipment, so I guess we could go for improved support weapons. That would help. Let's do that. We're now running the game at full speed. we've almost fulfilled all our objectives on the Tyrol line. Munich has fallen to the Dutch. Oh, sorry, the Belgians. The Belgians. These German infantry divisions here, I think it was 11 of them, have capitulated and surrendered. We're making rapid advances here. Very soon we'll have achieved all our objectives on this front, and we can make new plans, perhaps to push to Vienna or into Yugoslavia to take Zagreb. Ah, there's been a landing here as well, so we have what's going on over here? We've got some Australian troops supported by British aircraft by the looks of it. They appear to be cut off though by these Yugoslav troops and Soviet divisions, Soviet volunteer divisions. And this German town of Salzburg has just fallen again to the Belgians. Was it to the Belgians? Yep, it's under control of Belgium. This is good. This is good. We're coming, I think. Prague has fallen to the British. Look at these German defences. Hastily dug in. A lot of German divisions now at risk of being cut off here as well, around Prague, or just in front of Prague. It looks like the Western Front is completely collapsed for the Germans now. And of course I'm going to take full credit of it. Full credit for it, for opening up the Tyrol front on the German flank. The Germans initially had no divisions here at all, which is a massive oversight, because it gave us the initiative to make some ground and of course draw all those German troops away from the Western Front, which has now collapsed. And it's still 1940. The war hasn't even been going on that long. I mean, when does it say when it started? When exactly did it start? I can't remember. Let's go back and look at the other videos, but there we go. So in summary, we've seen the fruits of our attack on the Tyrol line here. The Germans have collapsed. Their air force has been destroyed in this area. We've had no activity from the German Navy in the Med, just a little bit from the Yugoslav Navy, which have been decimated. I'm guessing, let's look at details here. Yeah, it's estimated that they have no naval forces left. And the Central Mediterranean Italian fleet and German, Australian fleet have wiped out all Yugoslavian naval action in the Adriatic here. It was only a matter of time. Berlin has fallen. We're now pushing towards, I'm guessing, oh yeah, the German High Command have retreated to Vienna, and we're going to be pushing our way towards there in the next episode. So if you enjoyed it, click on like, make sure you click on subscribe if you want to see more strategy and some excellent gaming from Explorminate, and I'll see you next time in the next episode. Thank you.